Well, gather around the warehouse, y'all, it's time to load the truck. Doc's Dynasty Hour is rolling in. Tim Karanak's got the luck. Doc Eisenhower's riding shot.
Welcome to the Prospect Warehouse Podcast. I hope you like that intro. It's the intro to Doc's Dynasty Hour. This is the first episode of Doc's Dynasty Hour. Of course, you got good old Doc Eisenhower with us. You can find him on the X machine at Doc Eisenhower. You got me, your host, here at Fantasy Ace Ball, Tim Kanak. What up, Doc? You back home, good old Indiana, to start to kick this bad boy off.
Yeah, brother. I got Billy Creek Village. You know that everyone knows this. Everyone listening probably already knows this. But Billy Creek Village and these covered bridges, the red covered bridges that you can think of in your brain as being from Middle America. Well, Indiana has a covered bridge festival every fall, and over 1 million people assemble for the covered bridge festival every year, and it's a pretty big deal. But you already knew that, right?
No, I had no clue. But the place where I go clay shooting, they have a bunch of those little red bridge things to get to the courses. So as you're driving your golf caddy around with your shotguns in it, you're driving through those little red things from like hole to hole. So I did not know that was an Indiana thing, though. No clue.
Yeah, man. No, we got a lot of Amish too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you know who's a big fan or you know who the Amish are a big fan of? It's Connor Griffin. Connor Griffin called up today, gets an extension today, 9 years, $140 million. The Pirates actually doing something good for once. Like what? I love that. I love that they beat the Roman Anthony money, and then they got the 9th year out of it too. That's fire.
What's this?
That is a Connor Griffin signed baseball.
Yeah, someone pointed out to me that this is the last baseball he'll ever sign as a minor leaguer. It's too bad it doesn't say minor league baseball on here, but it's used like it's a used baseball, and I know when it's from. I've timestamped because you have your iPhone with the timestamp, but. Yeah, no, it was great. It's basically we almost got rained out. He's from Mississippi too, so this is like 40 degrees, frigid rain, which was like it delayed the game, almost made it not happen. We stuck it out, went to a restaurant for a bit. We walked over, and I was like, "Hey, okay, is the game happening?" They said yes. I said, "Okay, $5 lawn tickets, whatever each. Okay, that's $15 because the baby's free." All right, so $15 total gets me into the stadium. Nobody's there, so they're just like, dude, go up to the front row. Like a front row seats is a show, and it's like it was no rain the whole time, kind of cold. But then at the end, the rain comes back. Everyone flees. By the way, Esmeralda Valdez kept looking over at me. I'm like, dude, you know that I'm the guy. He's hype. I'm your number one propagandist. And so, but then Connor went over to talk to his wife for a second. I guess she was there, kind of being low key. She had a towel over her head. And then 2 boys. That's it. That's the line because that's how many people were not happy with the rain and the cold. Mississippi boy, used to the hot heat, comes over, signs 2 kids stuff. I use my 4-year-old beautiful blonde daughter as like a prop, and I'm like, I know your dad. He's on my podcast. He was on the Dynasty Dingers podcast. Rest in peace, Dynasty Dingers podcast, replaced with Prospects Live or Prospects Live MLB. I don't have a Prospects Live podcast. I have the Prospect Warehouse. Are we still the Prospect Warehouse?
Prospect Warehouse podcast, but this is Doc's Dynasty Hour. This episode,
dude, we're rebranding actively
episodes.
Well, next time, he knows.
It's still gonna be labeled as Prospect Warehouse podcast. Not to confuse people.
He laughed when I said I knew his dad. He's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. Don't worry. He'll talk about Doc Eisenhower to you. And he signed the baseball and he fled. And then so I'm guessing he didn't sign other baseballs because everyone else left the stadium, but. Yeah, this is the last signed baseball of Connor Griffin's minor league career, and I have a signature from Paul Skeens, who I met as well.
So you name dropped Kevin. You got in by name dropping Kevin.
And probably my daughter's pretty face. Nothing to do with me. Basically, I was the last part of the equation, and so everyone's tuned out of this podcast by now. But I think it was cool. I got possibly the best pitcher, possibly the best hitter of this next generation. I hung out with him for a second, and I got signature.
Did you put a number?
And my family is not allowed to ever get rid of them. Did he put a number on it?
Yeah, did you put a number on it?
Like his jersey
number?
number?
I tried to get it. I tried to get my kid up there this spring, but I couldn't get up there in the scrum.
I can't tell. It's like K. It looks like there's a 3 in there. It looks like there's a 3, but it's actually a G probably.
This is why I asked, because I have this Mason Wynn minor league ball here, and it says number 80. He's number 0 now. So that's how it's very easy to tell that this was a minor league one. So if that's a number at the end, he is now number 6 with the Pirates. So if that's like an 11.
He was number 1. He was number 1.
Does it look like a 1 there? Kind of looks like a 1.
I'm good, brother. They're forbidden from selling this at any point in their lives. No matter if they need food to eat, they got to find another way.
Yeah. It's like Babe Ruth ball in Sandlot, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into the podcast here. Basically, we're going to start this podcast off by talking about moves that we made this week, Doc, in Dynasty / long keeper leagues where you keep a lot of guys, whatever. Sometimes the line can be thin between Dynasty and keeper sometimes. So what kind of moves have you made in Dynasty leagues this week, Doc?
I think it's just like it's tough. I like a lot of my teams right now. I do think it's just a time to cycle through closing options, right? So some of these guys here I got listed down here. I made moves prior to this week, but some guys it just depends on the league size. So like Cole Sands, I don't know. I actually haven't checked this out. I had a couple bids in for Ottoneu. We'll see who I actually won. But I put in bids for Cole Sands and Jordan Romano in our shared Ottoneu league.
You did not win Jordan Romano.
Really? Someone bid over 10 for him?
Someone, I think whoever got him for 11. So that means you were
Okay.
$1 off.
Yeah, it's okay. Like he might not be the guy long term. I think he could easily be, but I was fine with not going more than 10 for him just because you got Kirby Yates, Robert Steve. You're gonna have other guys fighting all year for that one. Cole Sands, like if Cole Sands comes out, blazing, he's got the best stuff. Like as you were hyping up, was it Taylor Rogers or Tyler?
Yeah.
Taylor, right?
Well, guess what?
Yeah.
Cole Sands came in today in the 8th inning and gave up a run, and then Taylor Rogers came to back him out and save his butt.
Yeah, he's just not that good though. So it's gonna like Cole Sands has the best stuff. Can he be a closer? We'll find out. We'll find out about that. So it's for different reasons. They have different values. A couple Paul Sewald you can't get anymore, but out of all of these guys, I'm most chuffed about Sewald. I got him in a lot of places late in drafts, which for you in your league, folks, I saw some people in my like shallower leagues picking him up today. In hold saves leagues. The reason I didn't pick him up is because you can get hold saves that are sexier elsewhere. But Sewald probably going to be the closer. Like he's done it before. Guys, remember, managers of Major League Baseball love proven options because it takes a certain extra gumption to be able to come in there when the lights are on, when they're at their brightest in the 9th inning. You know that you could destroy your whole game for your team, right? It's like a high-pressure situation. Now, when it comes to holds and saves, like I alluded to a second ago, there's a couple of guys who I'm kind of more interested in. Eric Sabrowski. I didn't really know who this guy was heading into the year, but he could just bang, bang, bang. They're just giving him so many holds. I'm like, okay, here we go. So I picked him up in my more shallow format, and he immediately gave me a hold. I'm very happy about that. And you know that Cleveland can breed some solid relievers. And then Gordon Grassifo. I thought it was Grassifo. I like saying things my way.
Grass.
And so he's Grachefo probably is how it actually is Italian. But he can hit 100, right?
Yeah, he can.
Yeah, so I've seen him do like some high velo numbers there, and I know he was supposed to be a starter at one point, and him being a reliever is way more interesting to me. And I think he's one of these guys who could be sneaky. It's funny, everyone was hyping up Matt Swanson, and it's not really working out so far. Wouldn't be surprised to see maybe Grassifo mix into the save equation eventually, but at the very least, he's already getting hold opportunities, some medium to high leverage moments, worth an ad in deeper leagues.
Yeah, look for Tink Hence maybe to be the closer by the end of the year. It's an interesting,
insane take. Such an insane take. Riley O'Brien is legit. He'll be the guy.
I don't like Riley O'Brien. I don't know. We'll see. These are guys I've added. I added Keaton Winn in a ton of leagues. Keaton Winn has a 50% K minus walk rate so far. Small sample size, right? But he's lighting it up. Three innings, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. So you gotta love that. And Ryan Walker has been kind of pooping the bed since taking over for end of last year when Randy Rodriguez got hurt. So Keaton Winn has a chance maybe to steal that role. Chandler Simpson somehow was available in a points league, in an odd new 12-team points league I'm in. And I was like, even though it's points and like steals aren't really that important, he still is going to get a lot of points, I think. So I still grabbed him. Brian Reynolds, I got in a 14-teamer. Someone dropped him after one bad week, which is crazy. And then Scott White Dynasty League, I added Luke Raley, Anthony Nunez, and I think I got Keaton Wynn in that one too. So Luke Raley and Anthony Nunez in the Scott White Dynasty League. So next part of the show.
No, I was a big fan of Nunez, though. He's coming out. And by the way, DL Hall in like deep leagues, people forgot about this former top prospect. But DL Hall is like striking on a ton of guys. So is he's a former Oriole and current Oriole, Anthony Nunez. I think both those guys could be lights out closers sooner than later, especially Nunez. I think there's going to be a window there. Helsley, I don't know what happened last year. I don't trust him anymore.
He's looked good this year so far, but
yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
He'll work his way up the ladder. I think Mr. Nunez.
Yeah, he might already be the second best reliever in that pen. So we'll see. Doc's Magnificent 7. This is the next part of the show. So everyone, when you're listening, you can expect Doc is going to give you 7 buys for Dynasty in every show. The Magnificent 7 for Mr. Doc. Let's go.
Man, this guy's awesome. This is all Tim, by the way. Full credit. I know I may seem like an egotistical maniac, which I am, but Tim knows that and tapped into it completely. Nick makes me more excited to do this. And
yes.
So some of these guys are going to be more obvious or less obvious than others. I just kind of, to be completely honest, put this together like 5 minutes before the show because I just know ball that much. Roman Anthony is someone where in a deeper or smart league, like there's no chance you can buy in on him. But let's just think about it, right? Think about how people were feeling about him when he smacked that bomb for Team USA versus how they feel today. We live in a very short-term attention span kind of world, right? So I'm not saying you're going to get him cheap, but someone out there who's maybe a little scared or thinking, shoot, what if it's going to take a while for him to figure it out? Just send an offer. Maybe it's going to be a little easier. A strong buy, like an aggressive offer, but send it out now. He's going to be a stud. And then Kerry Carpenter, this is a guy who's just starting slow. He's a streaky hitter to begin with, but it looks really bad, right? Him and Caleb Durbin, I'm going to go a little bit out of order here, but him and Caleb Durbin are a couple of guys who I'd say, just really obviously not starting very hot. And maybe it's even more obvious with Durbin to buy low because people are like, oh, shoot, he's already small. He's already an underdog. He's less, there's just reasons like that where maybe in some leagues, people are dropping these guys, right? Maybe some formats where you could straight up pick them up off waivers. I strongly recommend it. Guys, it's a long season. We're what, barely a week into it in terms of games played, less than 7 games played from almost, I think, every team at this point. So, yeah, guys, like it's gonna work itself out. Some guys just start slow, it stinks, but it's a great opportunity for the patient buyer. And then we'll go to Shane Smith. Woo, disaster zone, baby. I heard that Eno Saris. I'm just so busy, I don't have time to listen to everyone, but I heard that Eno Saris is really out on Shane Smith, and so there's already some like people, and he didn't have the strongest end of the spring, so there's already reasons for people to be out on Shane Smith. This is just adding to it. I'm trying to buy him. I just think he's a solid guy. Maybe he's never going to be your ace, but it's a nice changeup. Really, it's a fastball that graded really well last year. And if you can lean on the fastball and then work out the rest to be maybe a 3.8 ERA guy. This is a deeper league buy more than anything, medium to deep leagues. But I think he's going to be he's got a great build, quality start machine. His numbers are horrific right now, right? So like, what's his ERA? 20? Got to be something like worse than that.
He's destroyed me, dude. I have a league, a 14-team league, where I streamed him. He was my streamer pick last week, and I lost all because I streamed him. And then I was like, I'm gonna go back to the well. I was like, that was a mistake. That's not gonna happen again.
Yeah.
And then he got rocked yesterday too. And now
it feels horrible. It feels horrible. Yeah, and so if you're that GM that I'm going to try to buy from, and you're like, please let me get rid of him at all costs. Just can I get some value back?
I dropped him last week even after he was still nobody re-added him. I'm like, I'm going back. He's going to be fine, and I re-added him.
That's obviously
rocked again.
You can send anything for him right now and maybe get him right. So it's a very low cost situation in a lot of leagues. And then Carter Jensen this is a situation where again. He didn't have he's like all of a sudden prospect guy, right? Roman Anthony has been building up over the last few years as like an elite prospect. Carter Jensen kind of came out of nowhere, and so there's probably some creeping thoughts in people's heads. shoot, were we overreacting to a small sample size? Ooh, is he maybe not that? There's gonna be now he's hurt. Like I don't know what happened to him, what this injury is. That's worth as of this recording. I don't know what happened to him. I think he's just a little banged up. That's worth paying attention to. But certainly, even if it's like a long term thing, as long as he's not out for the year, like go ahead and look into it because there was such incredible hype behind Carter Jensen that it became in leagues where I didn't have him already, like in terms of dynasty. It was basically impossible to grab him because the hype got out of control. So I think he's a great buy low target. And then two guys, Victor Scott. This is like the one guy who's like in the opposite direction, is actually doing really well. I think everyone's a little scared. Him and Jordan Walker, who I didn't list here, but they're a little bit scared to trust again, right? Well, Jordan Walker has that pedigree behind him. So some people are cautiously getting excited again. Victor Scott, though, it's like he doesn't have to be this good to keep being worth your time in fantasy. If he can go 230 batting average, 310 OBP, he'll steal 50 bases. Last year he was doing things like that, but he ended up with 216 batting average, 305 OBP. So like literally and he got 34 stolen bases and 5 home runs, which is like not nothing. It's like not Chandler Simpson. So if he can just get that up to like again like a 230, be like very low bar, maybe 7 to 10, maybe 10 home runs, like with 50 stolen bases, it's a very interesting, pretty sexy, useful profile. And last of all, 7 guys is a lot of guys. People are going to get sick of this. But I posted about this guy on X. This is my only prospect on the list, pure prospect, Esmeralyn Valdez. He is just, gosh darn it, he is so talented. Nobody's appreciating him the way they should. I have him as my number 22 non-debut prospect. I watched him live last night in Columbus, and I got a little clip. I haven't posted it yet because Connor Griffin got promoted and totally blew everything up. Like no one cares about Esmeralyn anymore. But he's thick. It's funny. You see him next to everyone else. He doesn't even look that tall because he's just like so well built. So he just kind of like looks proportional. But then I saw him in the outfield. He's like a head taller than the guys next to him. So what is he? He's 6. It says 6'2". I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. Okay, this is incorrect. So this is outdated weight. He is over 200 pounds.
Fangraphs. I think he just jacked from either MLB or Fangraphs is whatever.
So he is over 200 pounds with ease. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he's like 6. Maybe he's 6'2", but like 220 pounds probably. Very very well built young man. And what I noticed was he's just patient. He's not just sitting there swinging for the fences every single time. And in fact, he got a bad call even, and he bounced back. And I'll post this later. But he reached out and over to go get one, just golfed it up, and it went all the way to the fence, and it dropped in for a double. Like I was like, well, he had no business doing that. So just very easy power. 30 plus home runs at his peak is a reality that we could be looking at here again with a guy like Connor Griffin potentially in front of him. So this is someone who I just reiterate, please buy in while you can. He's not going the way he should be going in value.
Yeah, I agree with that one on Valdez. And going back to a couple of the major leaguers here, Carter Jensen, there is no injury news except that it was a late scratch. So you think if it's a late scratch, it's probably just a general soreness or something like that. Otherwise, it would have been like not like a late scratch. It would have been like, oh, he's hurt like yesterday or whatever. And then the other guy that I want to talk about real quick is Victor Scott II, because I've watched every Cardinals game so far. When I had him up on the screen, I was circling with my mouse. If you're watching on XVision or YouTube, the ground ball rate is like 68% right now for Victor Scott. So last year, Victor Scott had a 38% ground ball rate, 40% fly ball. The year before that, 43% ground ball rate, 40% fly ball. What makes Chandler Simpson so good? He just hits the ball on the ground and lets his speed work. That's what makes Chandler Simpson so good. So Victor Scott, who's like best friends with Chandler Simpson, is taking the Chandler Simpson route. He has bunted and gotten on base so many times early this year. And it's like, that's why his average exit velocity is like 73. It's because he's just like bunt hitting the whole time. But like, if you're that fast and you can outrun anyone, then just keep doing it. Who cares? Like, and that's what he's doing now. I feel like before he was trying to be this guy. He's like, oh, I want to be like a 2050 guy. Like, I want to be Ronald Acuna Jr. or whatever. And it's like, no, bro, just freaking bunt and get on base and get 60 steals. Like, don't try to hit 20 homers. If you run into 5 homers a year, cool. But get on base and steal 50 bags, man. That's what we want you to do.
Yeah, we have Nolan Gorman. It's okay. If you want a bad average guy who swings for the fences every time, we have one who's like way bigger than you. It's okay. Don't be that guy.
Yeah,
By the
exactly.
way, Gorman's showing some hope. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, maybe a magnificent 7 for next week. So let me rehash your magnificent 7 here. We've got number 1, Roman Anthony. Number 2, Kerry Carpenter. Number 3, Esmeralyn Valdez. Number 4, Caleb Durbin. Number 5, Shane Smith. Number 6, Victor Scott II. And number 7, Carter Jensen. That's Doc's 7 dynasty buys of the week, his magnificent 7. Now, Doc, you got 3 phonies of the week. Big fat phonies. We call this section all hat, no cattle, which for you city slickers means stay away from these people. They're not real. They're phonies. They ain't the real thing, people. All right, so you got 3 of them, Doc. Who do you have?
Yeah, I mean, so Yordan Alvarez is just a very talented baseball player who is going to get hurt again. And that's it. That's it. Like, that's basically it. Like, so right now he's hitting like an MVP. I inherited him in one league. I keep trying to sell him to Ross Jensen for Paul Skeens. I'm like, bro, you really want Paul Skeens at his 67 ERA, dude? You know, like, come on now. He's a bust. Paul Skeens has peaked, obviously, so he's refusing to do it. But I just think that it's a situation where you have to sell now because people are going to start, and he'll probably do it. He might do it for another week or 2 weeks or 3 or a month, 2 months. I promise it'll like. I don't want to make this promise, but I can promise there's a high likelihood, and I know this because it happens every year. And he could actually be healthy all the way until like August, right? And so maybe in roto formats, don't panic so much, but in head-to-head formats, if there's a good chance your best player or one of your best players won't be there during fantasy playoffs, why do you roster him? That was big. I've cautioned against Glasnow and DeGrom for years for the same reason. Like, I need you to be there or a good chance of you being there. If it happens every year over and over and over again, it's just not worth it. So I would sell, if not now, like hopefully soon, right before it happens. Because once it happens, the magic is over and everyone remembers. Everyone remembers all of a sudden. Oh shoot, I should have known better. And that's for another player. We're going to talk about another player like that later.
Yeah, he's been off to an amazing start. If you look at the stats here, a 1434 OPS, 97.2 average exit velocity, 45% sweet spot rate. Like, he's just off to an insane start. 412 BABIP, of course. So, I agree, man. If you could sell him like a top 10 player or a first-round player and get another first-round player who's probably not going to get hurt in return, that's a good trade. So, who is number 2?
Yeah, and I'll just say that he was. I noticed that Alvarez was trending up toward the end of draft season. Even like people were like kind of forgetting already. Like, yeah, you know what? Maybe because he was slipping like really deep, and then he started. In my experience, of coming back. My number 2 guy is Joey Wiemer, who last year had like a 40% strikeout rate, and basically his whole career has not been able to put it together. He's 6'4", 226 at 20. I love when they do that, 226. Like, dude, just like 225. It sounds better. You know, take his shoes off, whatever. So 6'4", 226. He's 27 years old now, so he's super post hype. Formerly, hyped up, fast, speed, power, dynamic profile, and of course that is the allure, and that's why he's become a lot of people's number 1 waiver claim over this last week. He's super hyped up. Dang it, I thought I had him. I had people like reaching out in one of our Scout the Stat Line Dynasty leagues like, bro, are you sure? I thought I put it's actually Owen. That's so funny. I'm going to announce it because he's Owen. It was Owen. He DM'd me, Owen Hurd. And he's like, bro, I'm like pretty sure that I put 100 bid in to get Wiemer. And I was like, well, good news, bro. I actually turned on failed bids so you can go see. And nope, you're 75. And he lost by $2 to 77 FAAB. So that's a heartbreaker.
He's probably going to be happy he didn't do that.
He's probably going to be happy. I had him in one of the leagues, and I cut him last second like an idiot, but I had him for the last year or two. Anyway, I think it's – call me crazy. I don't think a 588, 682, average OBP line is going to hold up. I just think that he is going to be very volatile. I think this is a hot streak. I think if you can sell him at all, do it. I don't think you can sell him for much. But I guess I would just say, I'm not blowing my fab. I'm not blowing my – if he's still somehow out there, Like, I'm not worried about missing him. I'm focusing. I focused on the closers because closers early on really fluctuate. And it is like, what have you done for me lately? And so anyone who's already on, teetering is not great if they're messing up, and anyone who's got an opportunity running with it, that's definitely jump on that. But Joey Weimer, yeah, it's fun because he's got an opportunity in Washington with their thin outfield, but I just don't think long term this is your guy. That people
not the next JD Martinez. I would agree with that. He has a 727 BABIP, which is absolutely insane. But small sample sizes, you get mind-numbing stuff like that. There's no way this guy who is going to have a longer shelf life, Joey Weimer or the former national that everyone was crowning like to be amazing, Joey Meneses, who lasted one season?
It was a great story. Hey, who do you take right now, Joey Weimer or Dylan Cruz Dynasty? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's probably one league out there where you can like make that deal. People,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
trade Joey Weimer for Jason Dominguez right now.
Patience is the game early on in March to early April, man. You can make some crazy deals.
Fun fact before we go to number 3, I have a fantasy baseball team named Teoscar Meyer Weimer. You like that?
Okay. I don't like that at all.
Oh, come on. That's a good one. All right. Number 3.
I actually do like it. After thinking about it, I like it more.
Yeah.
Yeah. O'Neal Cruz, who's like the fancier version of Joey Weimer. It's like we know who. Well, it's super fancy, right? Like, it's exciting. He's hitting home runs. He's got the upside. Like, if his brain and defense were aligned with his bat speed and sprint speed, if it was the combine, he'd be the number 1 combine bat for fantasy. But that's not what baseball is. It's a 162 game slog, and I just haven't seen enough from O'Neal Cruz to indicate that he's not going to go into a slump that brings him back down to a 200 average again, or turns him into even this year. So this is last year. Savant, come on, I don't want to see 2025. Even this year, he still has a 41% strikeout rate, right? So it's like he's clearly not evolved as far as I can tell. He's whiffing all the time. He's chasing a decent amount, not really taking walks even. So he got a 304 batting average, 3 home runs. That's enough for some people to maybe jump on it. Maybe they think they're buying low. So if you're a dynasty guy and you've been holding him, so there's 2 ways to look at things, right? So it's you're buying low or you're catching a falling dagger, right? So some people might think they're buying low, but they're catching a falling dagger. They're gonna get stabbed. So if you can trade him for like a first round pick at in an FYPD in terms of like a 15 to 30 team league, I'm doing it. Like for sure. I'd rather just like move on at this point. Like get what I can for him. If you can get more than that, that's fantastic. But I just stand by. I mean, of course, his shenanigans in the outfield are well documented. It doesn't look like a player who's like 1 fix away. It looks like he's a DH for sure.
I turned down an offer for O'Neal Cruz today in a league that you're in with me, in the Odd New Podcasters League. I was offered a $28 O'Neal Cruz for my $3 Ryan Waldschmidt.
Well, no, that's an easy no. Of course, that's a no, especially with the salaries. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Who offered you that? Or something? I don't know.
No, it's not. That was.
I'm just throwing shade.
We're gonna call someone out here. I think it was one of the Plazo guys.
Okay, those guys are good
one
guys.
of the Plazo pod guys. Yeah. All right. So next we got Huckleberry of the Week. This is your highlighted player of the week. Should I go first or you? I'll let you pick since it's your show. I'm just the host.
My Huckleberry of the week. It's Maikel Garcia. Gosh, I haven't even really looked at anyone's Savant pages because I think that's just really silly to do so early on. Oh yeah, but that's last year. Let's see again. I want to see this year for now. Because I know he's been doing well.
That's actually pulling up on John's dashboard. Look at this.
He's got
no F scores yet because there's not enough sample size, but we do have a lot of stats.
So basically everything amazing that Maikel did last year, he's doing again this year. He's taking even more walks, which is sexy. What is that? Is that real? 19% walk rate? That's amazing. And then his bat speed is up and his barrel percentage is way up. So Yeah, he has no home runs, only one stolen base so far, but got a 316 average, 440 OBP. Like, if this keeps morphing, he used to be a guy who was like, looked like he had really good bat to ball skills, but wasn't patient enough. Like, if he keeps becoming this guy, if he can become like a 280 to 300 or more than 300, he's okay. Promise, guarantee. Here's my Doc guarantee. Maikel Garcia ends at least one season. Actually, Doc guarantees that at least 2 seasons, Maikel Garcia ends with a 300 or higher batting average. I also think he's going to go with like really high OBPs. Like last year, he did 351 OBP, so he's already kind of out of that wheelhouse. I don't know what the ceiling is at this point. It's a guy who's going to steal you 20 plus bases. The home runs are the big question, but he's hitting the ball really hard. He's barreling it up. His bat speed's higher. The fences are moved in. It's like you might still be. It's going to take a lot because his numbers look pretty good, but maybe you could still buy in from an owner who's like thinking he's going to max out at 15 home runs. I just think he's got 20 plus home runs in that bat. It's not like I even have to think that. It's not a theory. His exit velos are there. Like he hits it over 90 miles an hour every year on average. His bat speed's great. He's barreling it up now. It's everything. It's just like he's doing everything right. So it's a matter of launch angles and what he wants to do with the baseball, basically, because he's such a good hitter. So is he fine with just smashing doubles? Well, I mean, Freddie Freeman was fine with just smashing doubles for a while, but when he peaked out between the age of like 28 and 33, like when he started hitting a lot of homers all of a sudden. Maikel Garcia is still only 26 years old. Like we have not seen his peak yet. Superstar potential.
My theory is they're going to want him to be more of the doubles guy than trying to match.
But what I'm saying is that like you can still be that guy, but because you're just hitting so well, so loud, you're going to accidentally hit 20 plus.
If he's that guy, isn't he just Alex Bregman with like steals, which is really good?
I was gonna say, isn't that really good?
Really good. Yeah. That's a really, really good player. If you're Alex Bregman with 25 steals, I think. So, hey, yeah. My Huckleberry
just at third base in this day and age, in this economy.
Yes. Yeah, in this economy, exactly. Third base is atrocious in this economy. So, my Huckleberry of the week is Mr. Taj Bradley. Taj Bradley has been a beast. I was saying to own him, like we were talking preseason. I was like, buy him because he might be the Twins closer. Like, there's just a good shot that he's just the Twins closer because he's a really.
How did you let me get him for $2? You let me get him for $2 in our data warehouse startup, right? I didn't even want him.
I'll tell you why. Because I thought he was going to be a reliever, and I think I had already bought all my relievers. My strategy in that draft was I was waiting on expensive guys. So I was like, I just kept throwing out like $2 relievers to try to get like value relievers. And that was like my strategy in the auction. So I filled up all my relievers like super early. And that's why, because I thought he was going to be a reliever. But I just pulled up his stats here. Look at this stuff. This is ridiculous. And I think we only have one game here. We don't have a second game. So, because he pitched today. So first game, he had here's his stuff plus on John's stuff plus, which is like a 103 is good on John's. He's got a 108.1 stuff plus total, 104.6 on the fastball, 109.4 on the splitter, 107.8 on the cutter, 114.9 on the curve, 18.5% swing strike rate. That was his first start. He was just absolutely insane. Today, he was just as good. We don't have stuff pluses on his stuff yet that I can see, but he was rocking 17-inch IVB on the fastball. He pitched 6 innings, no runs, few Ks, I think 1 walk or something. Yeah, 3 Ks, 1 walk. So another really good outing for Taj Bradley. I think he's just figured it out finally, Doc. The Twins are really good at pitching development. And even though the Rays are like really good, I feel like at developing pitchers to a level, I feel like there's a certain spot where like the Rays have like a gap in their development where it's like they're really good at taking like guys who are like vets or who are relievers and like transitioning from a reliever to starter. Like they've done that with a lot of success for a lot of guys. But I feel like they have problems when they get a prospect and they try to push them to that next level. They can get the guy to the pros, but when they try to push the guy to the next level, they really haven't had success with a lot of young guys outside of Shane McClanahan in like the last 10 years or so. Boz they had problems with and got rid of. And Joe Ryan, they traded. Like what? They missed on that one. So I think Taj Bradley might just be the next. Is he the next Joe Ryan here? What do you think?
I don't know. I actually didn't really like him that much coming in this year. That's why I only bet like $2 on him. But I'm down for the pleasant surprise, man. I just don't know. He seems kind of erratic over time, but I think Minnesota's got the opportunity for him. We'll see what happens. It's a small sample size, but
Oh, Doc dropped off on Doc's Dynasty Hour. How does that happen? I did not hang him, I swear. Look at that. Doc, dropping off in your show.
I don't know if I hit refresh or what, but Cole Sands' auction just ended. What happened? I can't see it. Let me hit refresh on this one here. Who got him? $7. Definitely me then, right?
Yeah, you got him. $7.
That's better deal than 11 for Jordan Romano, I think, especially for a dynasty perspective.
Probably, especially if he closes. All right, yellow belly of the week. You have a yellow belly of the week. Who do you have?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, Chase DeLauder. I tried my best to not say his name earlier because he's kind of like Yordan Alvarez Jr. I left him off my top 100 non-debuts. It wasn't because of talent. He's like obviously one of the most talented guys out there, but I'm barely keeping Emmanuel Rodriguez on there because he's just so high risk, high reward himself. I just don't. There's just a point where it's like the risk is like 51% at least. You know what I mean? Like there's more risk with Emrod. There's more risk than Chase DeLauder than there is reward, in my opinion. The odds of it happening, and I've ran the numbers. I ran this. I'm doing a little bit cross promo here because I do an article on Prospects Live. These guys would love me to do the article on their site. We'll see. I like both sites, both great stuff. Look at me, just being nice to everyone. Shouldn't do that, right? Sunday Smoke. I don't know where it is, but he maxed out. I did the whole count here. I'll try to find it in the meantime, but he hasn't gone higher in his entire professional career or college career than I think 60 games played. I have it right here since 2020. Here are the total games played by Chase DeLauder. This is by year. 16, 60, 24, 80. Still terrible, actually, by the way. And then 51 and 42. So, like, really bad. And, like, it's not like it peaked last year either. And he already got hit in the foot. Again, it's bad luck. But at what point does, like, for example, if you hit a normal guy in the foot, do we freak out that much? Like, oh shoot, it's not broken, great. But with Chase DeLauder, we're like, I feel like there's gonna be complications. And I just think that certain human beings, like I'm not a special athlete. I was good in high school, but I noticed even in high school there were certain guys who, even though they were really talented, they got hurt way too easily. Like one time, I'm not very big in football. I hit a guy and he was always getting hurt against other teams. Like I hit him in practice and he was just out for like a month. I'm like, dude, you shouldn't be going down to me, dude. What's going on? Anyway, I just think with Chase DeLauder, it's a sad thing, and I'm rooting against this prediction, but I can't see a career unless he's purely a DH. And maybe he's got, this is the upside, I think. Byron Buxton, who so much talent that he's going to keep getting the opportunities, that he should get the opportunities. And for real life, you'll enjoy him in those moments. And he'll eventually, at age 31 or whatever, he'll have that great 120 game season. But not a lot of people are believing in Byron Buxton right now after having an amazing season, right? Like you can't trust Chase DeLauder from a dynasty perspective. I recommend selling him. I can't recommend it enough. It's just a dangerous thing.
Yeah, sell off the high. My yellow belly of the week is Julio Rodriguez. This is because Julio is up to an atrocious start. He's hitting like 71. He has one hit. And I think at this point, Doc, he's just the next Carlos Santana. He's awful every spring. So let me give you the rundown here. In 2022, his rookie season, he had a 205 batting average with 0 home runs in March and April, which was the worst month that he had, or the worst, even though they combined March and April, but it's the worst month he had that entire season, his rookie year. 2023, he hit 239 with 5 home runs, which is the second worst month he had that year to start the season. He was bad. 2024, he hit 256 with 1 home run and only 11 runs and 11 RBI, which was the worst month that he had in 2024. And then in 2025, last year, in March and April, he hit 207 with only 4 home runs, while every other month he was hitting like 280 to 300 or whatever. So I think we have a good enough track record now to know that Julio Rodriguez, because every single year, except for one, his worst month was the first month of the season, that he's just not a March, April guy. I guess it's too cold in Seattle for him, just like we had with Carlos Santana with the Guardians forever, where he would just – and Schwarber. Remember, Schwarber was like that too. They would just suck for the first month of the year.
Wasn't Santana with the Indians?
Yeah. Yeah, the Indians, Guardians.
Hey, whoa, dude, hold up. Excuse me. Are you trying to erase Indians from America?
From a Western sided podcast. Cowboys and Indians, sir. Baby.
Guardians is offensive. Okay, what are you guarding? Are you guarding?
You're guarding the red bridge on your shirt. It's apparently what they're guarding, right? Aren't they supposed to be like bridge guardians or trolls?
Here in 2026, we embrace Indians. Sorry, Cleveland, you're actually racist.
They should definitely do throwback. They should definitely do throwback jerseys. I'm super excited because my minor league team, which is the Cardinals here in Jupiter, they changed their Saturday name to the Frozen Iguanas. So every Saturday they're going to be the Frozen Iguanas. I'm super really psyched to get a Frozen Iguanas hat. No, if you lived in Florida, you would get it because every winter when things freeze, the iguanas will like fall out of trees and like bash people's cars and stuff like that.
Okay, never mind. That's an amazing name. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then people will just take them and eat them because they just fall out of the trees, whatever. So it's like free food.
So hold up. Have you ever eaten a frozen iguana?
I have eaten an iguana, not a frozen one.
Has Miles Michaelis?
I'm sure, dude. That guy ate a lizard in the dugout.
Is that a fact?
Yes. I think he did it on TV.
That guy's my guy, dude. Like by the way, Miles Michaelis is Tim's best friend and neighbor, or at least he's his neighbor, but maybe also secretly his best friend. And he hasn't introduced me yet, despite me being the number one Miles Michaelis propagandist in 2026. I'm the last one.
Yeah, you have to come visit.
I did. We got drunk. I passed out on the beach.
That's at Fort Lauderdale. You got to come up to Palm Beach. He lives in Palm Beach.
All right.
All right. Yeah. So Julio Rodriguez, yellow belly of the week for me. All right. Last part of the show is the Mexican standoff. Woo-hoo-hoo. Can you do that? Can you do that song good? I bet you can do the
and it goes on like that. We won't keep, but then it goes wow, 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 wow. That's the best part.
Okay.
Wow, wow. It keeps going. I know the whole thing, but we're not going to.
It goes for like minutes. Actually, I think that scene is like 10 minutes long. It's like it's a super long scene, super drawn out, but it's awesome. I think Doc, every time that I say Mexican standoff in the show from now on, you have to do that. It's like the in-person sound effect.
I'll do like one part of it.
Yeah. Not the whole thing. I'm not going to ask you to do the whole 10 minutes. Okay. All right. So our Mexican standoff this week is it's Andrew Painter versus Cam Schlittler versus Thomas White. Who wins this Mexican standoff?
You said it every time you say it, right? So that's fun. That's why it's funny. So does anyone even care that Andrew Painter just did like 8 strikeouts and like really good baseball? Does anyone care? I was too busy. It was last night, right?
Yeah. Was it last night or 2 nights ago? No, I can't remember.
I don't even know. I was at the game last night. I've been driving from Virginia to Indiana. So like, let's just look up Andrew Painter. Did anyone even talk about him? Like probably, right? Probably a lot of Phillies.
I have not done a podcast since then, but he did 5 1/3 with a
look at that. So you look at like MLB,
8 Ks, 1 walk.
But MLB made a post saying debut Dylan. Andrew Painter struck out 8 in his first career start. 1,000 likes, 81K views. Dude, that's like a post I could have. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like seriously, like that's like for an account.
You should repost it for. What you're gonna do now is you're gonna repost Andrew Painter's start in your own words and see if you can beat the numbers on that.
I mean, probably like no
that
one
a
seems
deal?
to care. Like he went from like the guy, like the next Skeens to like, he was bad for a little bit after Tommy John. It's like, well, how old is he? 20, 21, 22? Like he's a baby. Like he's a kid. Like if he was coming out of college, this would be extremely young, right? It'd be like he skipped minor leagues basically. I framed it as soon as he got TJ. I was trying to remind everyone, hey guys, like he's gonna come back and start entering the big leagues as like a college aged kid, right? And so he's still really young. It sucks because he was going to be Yuri Perez. He was going to be this 19-year-old phenom who cracks the big leagues. He was going to be this phenom, and now we've kind of like lost the luster. And I don't get it, like because Philadelphia fans are really loud too, so you think they'd be oversized in terms of their hype for the kid. But this is a guy who's not going anywhere. He really just he was dealing in his debut, and it was his MLB debut, and I had to like look it up. So I need to hype him up. I need to settle down here in Indiana and get my baseball posting back on the groove again. That'll be good. And so, Andrew Painter's my guy. Not to say I don't like the other guys. I just think everyone loves Schlittler. And because Thomas White still has that prospect shine, it's almost like the longer he stays down, the more hype he'll get, He comes up and screws around a little bit. It's, people will probably lose faith. But Painter, somehow you can still get him. You can still buy. He's going to be a stud.
So is he wins the Mexican standoff? Painter over Schlittler and Thomas White?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. I do have the numbers on the screen. You can see the slider, 22.2 swing strike rate in that start. And the change.
Hold up. How many pitches did he throw?
He threw 84 pitches.
No, sorry. How many like different kinds of pitches? Count those for me.
He threw 6 pitches.
That's what he
Fastball,
throws.
slider, curve, changeup, sinker, sweeper. 2 sweepers.
How many does Schlittler throw? 3?
I think he throws 6 too.
Is that fact?
Let's bring it up right here. He threw 5. Fastball, cutter, sinker, curve, slider. 5 pitches. But his fastball definitely performed way better. 33.3% swing strike rate on that fastball, which is crazy.
Can you go back for a second? So I'm looking at these percentages.
Yes.
Go back. Let's go back to Painter. Not Andre Palante, different guy. Yeah, so like I guess you could. It's a little bit of splitting hairs, but I would say he's giving more of a pure 4-pitch mix, like throwing in a couple other ones. He's got a little bit deeper. I guess I like Schlittler a lot, but I know he had kind of a reputation of more of a 3-pitch guy before this. So I just know that Painter for a while now has a very deep arsenal. People forget that, right? When you have a deep arsenal, like you can get by as a Michaelist, right? You can get by as a smoke and mirrors type of fella. So like if Painter can get by in his very early career as a smoke and mirrors guy, but then also blast you with some high octane stuff when he's at his best, it's just very exciting, the ceiling. So I think you're winning with all 3. So just to be clear, this is not
that's the point. I'm going to make all these really hard for you.
But I made the bold call. I just think that everyone's appreciating the other 2. They're not appreciating Painter. So I'm saying Painter. Go for Painter.
Painter. Yeah, Painter, Schlittler, Painter. It's like just combine them. Well, everybody knows Mr. Schlittler was a painter. Just let him into painting school, right?
Talking about Adolf Hitler.
Yep. All right, that's the podcast. This is the first Doc's Dynasty Hour. I hope you enjoyed, everybody. Follow Doc on X at Doc Eisenhower. Follow me on the X at Fantasy Aceball. Make sure you subscribe to the MLB Data Warehouse. And when you subscribe, if you subscribe for Dynasty and prospect content, say you subscribe because of Tim and Doc, so that John has to give the subscription money to us.
If he doesn't, I just want you to know that we get beaten. He sends out. He can't do it himself. He's very skinny, but he sends out hired goons instead of paying us. He pays goons like these big dudes to come beat us with their fists. Actually, not mostly just with like little whips. Ow! That's kind of annoying. Like they're not big whips. There's little whips. They kind of hit you in the shit. They hit you in the shins.
Isn't that called flogging?
No, it's like mild. It's mostly just they just whip you in the shins. Like I get whipped in the shins by the goons.
They trip you. They trip you. Well,
John's goons.
They just trip you. John's goons.
It's very dry.
Stay sharp, Stay hungry, keep them barrels flying high. This is Doc's Dynasty Hour. We'll catch you on the other side.